All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely crucial for anyone serious about infrastructure as code: Terraform modules. We're going to dive into how they can take a project from total chaos to a clean, scalable, and genuinely production-ready system. Let's get right into it. So, does this sound familiar? You kick off a new project and everything's great. It's simple, it's clean. But then, you add more resources, you add a staging environment, more people join the team, and suddenly things start to get, well, messy. Your once beautiful, elegant code starts to feel completely out of control. You know the signs, right? You end up with these giant monolithic .tf files that are just a nightmare to scroll through. You're constantly copying and pasting the exact same code blocks for your dev, staging, and prod environments. Every little maintenance task becomes a total slog, and making a simple change feels like you're diffusing a bomb. You have no idea what side effects it's going to have. But hey, don't worry, there's a really elegant way out of this mess. The key is to shift your thinking. Stop thinking in terms of long procedural scripts and start thinking in terms of components. And in the world of Terraform, those components have a name: modules. So what exactly is a Terraform module? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a Lego brick. It's a self-contained, totally reusable building block for your infrastructure. You can group a bunch of related resources, like a server, its security group, and maybe a database connection, all together into one logical unit that you can then use over and over again. Now, Terraform really works on two levels. You've got your root module, which is just a fancy way of saying the main folder where you run your Terraform apply command. And then you have child modules. Those are our Lego bricks, the reusable components that the root module calls on to build the final structure. Pretty much any real-world project is going to be set up this way. Okay, so we get the big idea. But how do they actually work? What's going on inside one of these modules? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the anatomy of a really well-structured module. A solid professional module usually boils down to three key files. You've got main.tf, which is the engine. It's where all the resources are actually defined. Then there's variables.tf, which is like the module's public API. It defines all the different ways you can customize it. And finally, you have outputs.tf, which exposes useful bits of information for other parts of your infrastructure to use. This isn't just about being tidy, it creates a clear contract, making the module predictable and super easy for anyone on the team to pick up and use. In actually using a module, it's basically a simple three-step dance. First, you tell Terraform where to find it by defining the source. It could be a local folder, a Git repository, or even the public Terraform registry. Second, you pass in your inputs, customizing things like the server size or what region it should live in. And third, you use the outputs. You grab something useful, like the new server's IP address, so you can go and configure a DNS record with it. Let's just double-click on inputs for a second, because this is really the secret sauce. Input variables are what make this whole thing so powerful. You can use the exact same module to spin up a tiny little server for your dev environment, and then turn around and use it to create a massive auto-scaling cluster for prod. You write the core logic just once, and then customize it everywhere else. It's a game changer. And if inputs are how you talk to the module, outputs are how the module talks back. A module can't just be a black box, right? It needs to share information with the rest of your system. Outputs are how it does that, exposing critical data like, say, a new server's ID or its IP address. So a completely separate load balancer module knows exactly where to send traffic. All right, so understanding the theory is one thing, but using modules safely and effectively in a real production environment, that takes a bit more discipline. So let's get into the essential best practices that you absolutely have to follow. And why do we do this? Because the benefits are huge. You get dry, don't repeat yourself code, which is just so much easier to maintain. You can enforce a standard architecture across every single environment, ensuring consistency. Code reviews get way easier because the changes are small and focused. New team members can get up to speed way faster because they're just learning reusable patterns. And all of this leads to much, much safer changes with a predictable, isolated impact. Okay, now if you only take one single thing away from this on production safety, please make it this: always pin your module versions. I mean it. An unexpected update to a module you're using can introduce breaking changes and completely wreck your infrastructure without warning. Locking into a specific tested version is probably the most important thing you can do to ensure your builds are predictable and safe. And that brings us to the other big, scary area of risk in any Terraform setup: the state file. This quote really says it all.
If you mishandle your state, you're opening yourself up to a massive production risk that can easily lead to downtime or, even worse, data loss.
So here are the 4 non-negotiable golden rules for state management. First, use remote state in something like S3 or Azure Blob. Your laptop is not a safe place for your infrastructure's source of truth. Second, you have to enable state locking to stop 2 people from running apply at the same time and causing chaos. Third, use separate state files for each environment. This ensures a mistaken dev can never, ever touch prod. And finally, lock down access. Your production state file is a crown jewel asset. Treat it that way. Let's talk about some common mistakes we all see. Don't create these gigantic do-everything modules. They're impossible to maintain. Keep them small and focused on doing one thing well. Don't tightly couple things that don't belong together, like putting your web server and your database in the same module. And for goodness sake, don't forget documentation. Instead, do design for loose coupling, and do clearly document what your inputs and outputs are. Your future self will thank you. Now, all of these best practices shouldn't be on some manual checklist. They absolutely have to be automated in your CI/CD pipeline. Your pipeline should automatically validate and format your code. It should generate a Terraform plan for every single pull request so reviewers can see the exact impact of a change. And you should always, always have a manual approval step before anything gets applied to production. Okay, so let's zoom out. How do we put all of these pieces together to really and truly master our infrastructure? Let's look at the big picture. This right here is the end goal. A mature, professional setup uses the root module as an orchestrator. The root module itself has very little logic. Its main job is to assemble all of your specialized child modules, one for networking, one for compute, one for the database, and compose them into your complete application environment. It's like a conductor leading an orchestra. So if you're a DevOps engineer or you're on that path, this is basically your checklist for mastery. You absolutely have to know module structure inside and out, how to use inputs and outputs effectively, the core ideas behind reusability, how to have a solid versioning strategy, and of course, how to properly separate your environments. Nail these 5 things, and you're in great shape. Ultimately, it really all boils down to this one powerful idea. When you truly master Terraform modules, you're not just writing scripts anymore. You are mastering the art and science of building scalable, reliable, and genuinely production-grade infrastructure as code. So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. As you look at your own projects, at your own infrastructure code, what's the very first thing you could pull out and turn into a standardized, reusable module?